team, my name is Alex Gold. It is always a delight to be here with you. We are together for another full body fusion Pilates class. You do not need any equipment except for your mat. We are starting standing. Please note it is a lot of intensive booty work today. So get yourself ready. Make sure that you have a sweat towel and a drink bottle handy. Like I said, starting standing so we can stretch out those backs of those legs, getting ourselves nice and warm. From this position, your feet are about hip width or shoulder width distance apart. We push that booty back, soft bend into those knees, folding yourself forward, lengthening out through the spine. Imagine that there's a piece of string attached to the crown of your head and I'm pulling it away from you. Keep that stomach in, collarbones stay nice and wide. Squeezing those glutes, keeping that soft bend in those knees to bring yourself all the way back up. So we're staying lengthened as much as we can out through that booty. Pushing those hips back, lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Stay strong through that core. Squeeze those glutes to bring yourself all the way back up. Taking your fingertips to your temples if you'd like. So just keeping yourself nice and open through that chest to squeeze, lift back up. We go for two more like this. Folding forward. Find that nice stretch out through the backs of those hamstrings, lengthen out through that spine. Squeeze, lift, coming all the way back up. Last one here, fold forward. And squeeze, exhale, lift, coming all the way back up. We add on from here. So we take that good morning. Bend into those knees, drop it down to a squat. Hands will come down, we find ourselves in a bear. Those knees hover off your mat. Keeping that long spine, collarbones are wide. Walk those hands out into your legs straight. We're in a plank position. We come back into that bear. Drop those heels back, coming into your squat, hands to your temples. Straighten into those legs. And then squeeze through those glutes to come all the way back up. We do four more like this. Fold it forward. Squat it down. Hands come down to your mat, find your bear. Walk it out, find your plank. Walk it back, find that bear, drop it back down into your squat, straighten into those legs, squeeze to come all the way back up. Three more here, fold it forward, drop it down, find your bear, find your plank, back to bear, back to your squat, good morning, and rise. Last two. And final one, fold, squat, bear, plank, bear, squat, morning, and rising to stand, rolling out those shoulders. Tuck that chin into your chest, we roll it all the way down, head is nice and heavy. Soft bend into those knees, we walk it out, finding your plank position, holding your plank here for me. Working into your left leg first, lifting that left leg up to hover. Round through, knee to nose, and extend it back. Crossing the body, take it to your right elbow, and extend it back. Four more like this. Round through, knee to nose, extend to hover. Cross it over, and hover. Three more. Knee to nose, extend, cross, extend. Last two, round and extend, cross and extend. Last one, round through, extend, cross and extend. Dropping those knees down, crossing at those ankles, flip yourself over onto your back. Give those arms and shoulders a little bit of a rest. Coming all the way down onto your back for me. Those legs go up into tabletop position, hands behind your head. Little crunches here. Keeping those elbows nice and wide. Chin stays lifted off your chest. Pull that stomach in for me. Nothing too fancy about this move. Just getting that core nice and warm, ready for us to commence our work. Getting that body nice and warm. We have last 10 seconds here before we add on. Pull that belly button in towards your spine. Don't let it puff out. We have just three. Last two. And last one. We add on Taking one leg up to the ceiling and one leg out in front, a nice big L shape with those legs as you crunch. Lowering your head, nice big inhale, return back to tabletop, alternating those legs, crunch and L shape, and then inhale, return tabletop. Finding that nice stretch out through the back of that hamstring for the leg going to the ceiling, and getting your hip flexor stretch for the leg that reaches forward. Big exhale, keep pulling that stomach in, pressing your spine into the mat. Don't forget about your breath. Big exhale as you lift. Inhale to lower. We go for 2 more each side. Last one each side on your left and on your right. Hugging those knees into your chest. Nice little rock side to side. And then hold behind the back of those thighs. Rock yourself up, crossing at those ankles or simply finding your high plank again. We take it on to the other side. So your right leg this time, lifting it up to hover. We curl under knee to nose. Extend back to hover. Take it to your left elbow and extend to hover. 4 more here. Round through. Extend. Cross and extend. Round through. Extend. Cross. Extend. Last 2. And last one here. Dropping it down. Knees go nice and wide. Find your child's pose. Rolling out those wrists if you need to. Like I said, team, a lot of booty work happening today. We're doing everything on your left side first. A little bit of an ab break before we do it all on the right side. So we are starting in a 4-point kneeling position, setting yourself up for success here. Finding that stomach lifted, keeping your collarbones nice and wide, and a long spine. Extending that left leg out, straight behind you. Keeping those hip points nice and square to your mat. Lots of weight into that left wrist here to make sure that we're staying nice and square. We start with a lift and lower. Nothing too fancy about this move. This is for us to check in to make sure that we're keeping that long spine. If you can, placing that opposite hand onto your low back to make sure that you're not dipping into it. So we want to try and keep that as flat as you can. Keep that stomach pulling in, those collarbones nice and wide. So we're not rounding, keeping those shoulders out of your ear. Squeeze through that left booty cheek to lift and lower that leg. Both hips are still staying nice and square. We have our last 10 seconds here. Give me 5 for 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. Taking it over to the back right corner of your mat. Rainbow all the way up and out in line with your hip. So it's an extended rainbow. Cross from that back right corner all the way up. Rotating through that hip socket. Feeling that left side oblique starting to engage here. You might also start to feel that right glute, your supporting leg. Big squeeze all the way up and over. And making sure that we're not just sweeping it low, we're still trying to find that rainbow. We have 20 seconds. Keep those collarbones nice and open. Feeling that left side oblique. Give me last 5 for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping down to that right forearm, so we're opening up more into that left side. We cross your knees behind and kick outside. Cross behind and side kick. So again, we're finding that rotation through your hip socket. Your femur bone is rotating in and out. Finding that internal and external rotation. This is where you'll start to feel that supporting leg. If you would like to add on from here. After you're taking your side kick, press yourself up to sweep it all the way behind. Drop down to cross, kick, press up to sweep. Drop down to cross and kick, press up to sweep. Really challenging all of your muscles here, making sure that we're getting that full body movement. Cross, kick, and sweep. Keep breathing, smile through it. Whew. We have your last 15 seconds. Keep that strong core engaged. Really pull that stomach in to support you here. Last 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Tucking those right toes, we are going up into a downward dog position. Holding it here, head is relaxed between your biceps. Your left leg, lower and lift. Keeping your hip points as square as you can. Really pressing into that left arm to make sure we're not rotating open. It doesn't matter how high or how little you are kicking. We are feeling that left glute all the way here. We have 15 seconds. Coming down off those wrists onto your forearms. We are there together in 8, in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping it down onto those forearms. Still with that left leg, taking it up into a donkey kick. Just your upper range here. Again, we want both hip points nice and square to your mat. Really rest those wrists here, roll them out if you need to. We're just in that upper range. Squeeze, lift, lift, lift. Don't let that knee drop. Stay lifted. We have 20 more seconds here. Woo. Feeling the shakes. Give me last 10. We're going back up into your downward dog in 5, in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tucking those toes. Press yourself up into your hands. Lifting yourself back up. We're still in that donkey kick, just that upper range. Stay with it. If you need to give yourself a little bit of a rest, taking your full range donkey kick for a few before you're back up. Last 20 seconds here. We get to take that left leg down, give it a little bit of a rest. Stay with me, team. Final 10. Relax your neck, don't strain it. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left leg comes down, pedal it out. Give yourself a little bit of a rest of that left glute. Finding your down dog, find some stillness. We round forward, ripple forward into your high plank. And then lift back up, down dog. 4 more here like this. Round forward, ripple forward, high plank. Lift it back up, down dog. Last 3. And 2. And last one, holding it in that high plank. We lift your left arm up to the ceiling, finding your side plank. You've got options to stagger those feet or drop that right knee. We're just holding 20 seconds only. Nice and strong. We're coming down to that hip, down to that forearm. We are off those wrists in 10. Give me just 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop down nice and gracefully to that forearm, to that hip. We're tucking your bottom leg in. Your top leg is extended. We're still working into that left leg. Stay lifted out through that side body for me. Flexing your foot. Leg is in line with your hip. We only lift it up, up, up. Pull that stomach in for me. Keeping those hip bones stacked. Noticing here if you're feeling like you're rolling out and your toes are pointing up. Roll that top hip forward. Lift, lift. Staying light out through your shoulder, through that elbow. Feeling that bottom side oblique doing some work here as well. We lift. 10 seconds. Final 5 for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend that knee in. We kick it forward, in, clam open. Kick it forward, in, clam open. Once again, we're finding that rotation of your femur in your hip socket. Trying not to open yourself out completely when you take your clam, keeping those hips stacked. Just feeling that rotation in through your hip socket. 15 seconds here. Team, we are so close to finishing this leg sequence. Stay with me. Keep that stomach pulling in. We have last 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding that clam open. We kick it up, bend, knee tap. Kick it up, bend, knee tap. It's pretty much the same as what we were just doing. Instead, we're kicking it up this time. Stay lifted out through that side body. Noticing if you're starting to collapse down. Really try and find some strength out through that shoulder girdle connection. Stomach is pulling in still. Staying strong through that bottom side waist. We have just 10. We get to roll onto your back. Giving those elbows, shoulders a rest. In 3, 2, and 1. Rolling it onto your back. Feet will be hip-width distance apart. Arms are down by your side. Let's stretch out those hip flexors. Lift and lower those hips. Lift and lower. We have 2 moves to go to finish off this left leg. Stay with me. That just means about 60 seconds of effort left to give me on this left side. We have last 5, 4, we stay lifted. In 3, in 2, on this next one, stay lifted. Pressing those hands into your mat, taking your right leg up to the ceiling. It is a full lower and lift from that left side glute, that left hamstring. Take this nice and slow. Again, really press your palms and your arms down into your mat. Team, I know that you can feel it. We have pulses to finish coming up in 10 seconds. If this is too much, bending that leg into your tabletop position. Otherwise, we keep it straight up to the ceiling. We hold it up in 3, in 2. Last one, holding it up, little pulse lift, lift, lift. Try and keep those hips nice and even. We have just 20 seconds. Stay with it. Give me just 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, final 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down, coming all the way down. Crossing your left ankle across that right knee. Hug it in, finding that glute stretch. Oh my goodness, there it is. Holding this just a moment, stretching it out. Feeling that outer glute, that inner thigh. All that goodness. And gently release. Team, like I said, we are giving those glutes a little bit of a rest, working into those abdominals to help us forget. Our first move, we start on that left side, then move it onto the right. There are beginner, intermediate, and advanced options for your first 2 moves on the left and the right. Your beginner move, we're extending that left leg in line with your right knee. Your opposite arm, so that right arm, you'll just crunch up and reach towards that left ankle. Leg stays exactly where it is. You're just lowering and lifting, finding that nice cross-body effort. If you would like to take your intermediate move, your left elbow is down on the floor to help push you up to reach that ankle. We're still reaching your right hand towards that left ankle. Your advanced option here is no resting of that left arm. Just reach it along by your side. You're coming all the way up on your own abdominal strength to reach for that left ankle, trying to keep your leg in line without it moving.
There are your 3 options, 30 seconds for each move. We start together in 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way up, reaching for that ankle, knowing that you can always change your level with this move. 15 seconds before we switch sides. We have last 5 for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides here. Again, you've got those options. Advance, just sitting up and reaching. Intermediate, that elbow is there to help you. And your beginner, you're just reaching with that crossbody chain connection. Your last 10 seconds here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands are underneath your tailbone for support. Both legs straight up to the ceiling. Inhale, flex your feet to lower. Pulse at the bottom. Point those toes to lift back up. Inhale, flex, lower. Pulse at the bottom. Point those toes. Exhale, lift. Really only lowering as much as you can keep your spine fully imprinted into your mat. Inhale, flex, lower. Pulse, point. Exhale, lift. Inhale, flex, lower. Pulse, point, lift. Inhale, flex, lower. Pulse, point, lift. Last 10 seconds. Lower, pulse, exhale, lift. Last 3 for 2 and 1. Splitting those legs into scissors. Hands can stay underneath your tailbone if you'd like. Head and shoulders resting down. Otherwise, supporting your head in your hands. Really press the back of your head into your hands to keep that neck lengthened. Finding your scissors. Again, you've got the option to make these nice and small. If you're feeling this too much in those hip flexors, we have 20 seconds. Those feet are coming down flat onto your mat. Keep pulling that stomach in. We have last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flatten those feet. Hands are reaching. Same hand to same ankle. Finding that little oblique squeeze. My favorite, as always, those obliques. Keep pulling that stomach in. Don't let it puff out. Those collarbones staying nice and wide. We have last 15 seconds before we make this a little bit bigger into an oblique bicycle. Same elbow to same knee. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Same elbow to same knee. So just how we were reaching that same hand to same ankle, keeping it same, 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 same. Right, right, left, left. We have 3 more moves to go with this ab sequence. Last 10 seconds here. Give me 2 more each side. Last one. Lowering your head and shoulders, arms down by your side. Keeping those knees bent. They're forward of your hips. It's a tiny little reverse roll in. So why we keep these knees bent and forward of those hips is to take out any momentum for this reverse roll in, focusing on those low abs, those deep transverse abdominals. So try not to let your legs swing out. We just have another 20 seconds here. Final 2 moves coming up. Try not to let your shoulders hunch up into your ears. Just a tiny little lift and lower of that tailbone off your mat. We have just 3, 2, and 1. Dropping those knees over to your left side, hands behind your head, oblique crunches. Feeling that squeeze through that right side. Try and keep your knees pressing together. Don't let that top one lift. Exhale to curl up, inhale to lower. We have 10 seconds before we switch it over. Your final move on the other side in just 5. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Flipping those knees over to the other side, taking your oblique crunches, this time feeling the squeeze in the left. Who's forgotten about those legs, those glutes? Oh my goodness. That's all we have to do to finish, team. Just that leg sequence on the other side. Last 10 seconds here. We're in it together. That's the main thing. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lengthening out arms and legs. Take that moment. Find that stretch of those abdominals. Whew. Inhale here, exhale, bringing those arms up to the ceiling, tuck your chin into your chest, coming all the way up, reaching it forward, and sitting up nice and tall, crossing at those ankles, team. We are setting ourselves up once again for success to take this sequence onto the other side. Finding your 4-point kneeling position for me. We are taking it onto your right glute this time, extending that right leg nice and long. Square off those hips, open those collarbones, stomach pulling in, spine is lengthened. We lift and lower, lift and lower. This is it, team. Just a couple more minutes and you are completely done with this full body workout for today. Again, you've got that option here to feel the movement of your spine, especially if you don't have mirrors in your room. I don't here. So it's just about feeling your body. What is it doing? Making that movement smaller if you feel your spine dipping too much, squeezing through the back of that glute. We have your last 10 seconds here before we go into that extended rainbow. Last 5. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. We cross it to the left corner of your mat, all the way up into your right hip line. All the way back, cross it over, and all the way forward. Finding that rotation of your femur through your hip socket. Allow yourself to bend through your right side waist, feeling that oblique starting to engage. Keeping both arms nice and strong and straight here. We're not bending into that left elbow. If you feel yourself starting to bend, just taking that movement a little bit smaller. Making sure that the main thing here is we're lifting up and over, up and over. We have just 20 seconds. We drop down to that left forearm. In 10. Last 5. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping down to that left forearm, we cross behind, kick side. Cross behind, kick side. Allowing yourself to open out to that right side to find that nice kick in line with your hip. We've got the option to stay here with just this movement, or we add on, we cross, we kick, we press up to sweep behind. We drop to cross, kick, press up to sweep back. Cross, kick, press up to sweep back. Challenging yourself here. Last 15 seconds. We have just 6. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We tuck those left toes, lifting yourself up into your downward dog. Head is between those biceps, keeping your hips as square as they can. It is a lower head lift of that right leg. Try not to fling it up. It is a controlled lift and lower, so we're not using momentum. Again, making that movement smaller if you need to. Finding that big squeeze through that right glute. Whew, feeling it here on this other side. So much more. We have just 20 seconds. We're coming down, dropping onto those forearms. After this, give me last 12. Final 7 for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping down onto those forearms, rolling out those wrists if you need to, that right leg. Taking it up, just your donkey kick, lift, lift. Keep that stomach lifted, don't let it sag here. Protecting that low back. Team, you know what's coming. We did this on the other side already. We are pressing back up again in just 20 seconds. Stay with it, stay strong for me. Whew. Take those breaks if you need to. Second side is always so much harder. I am shaking. We have just 7 for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pressing up into those hands. Tuck those back toes. Lift yourself up into that down dog. That upper range of your donkey kick once again. From this down dog position, if you need to, take it in to that full range just for a few. Then find yourself back up. We have 20 seconds here. That right leg is coming down. We get to have a little stretch out. Woo. Give me last 7 for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down, pedal it out. Oh my goodness. Oh, find some stillness. We round forward, ripple forward into that high plank. Woo. Lift it back up. 4 more here. Stretch it out. Round forward, ripple forward. High plank. And lift back up. Round forward, ripple forward. And lift. Last 2. Wave it through. And lift. Last one. Round forward, ripple. Holding it here. Opening that right arm up to the ceiling. You've got your side plank. Hold 20 seconds only. Stagger those feet. Drop that bottom knee if you need to. I am shaking. Whew. Give me 10 more seconds. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gracefully coming down to your left hip, that left forearm. We are so close to finishing, team. Stay lifted through that side body. That right leg extends, flex your foot. We just lift up, up. Keep that stomach pulling in. Whew, that smile on your face. You know how close to the finish line we are. Really feeling that side pocket, the side of your booty. Do the work here. Feeling that underside waist as well. Stay lifted out through that shoulder. 15 seconds. Last 10. Imagine I'm holding onto your ankle and pulling it away. So we've got that beautiful length out through that leg. In 3, 2, 1, bend it in. We kick it front. Bend, clam. Kick it front, bend, and clam. If you need that extra support, bringing that top hand down, you can stay on your hip. You can take it behind your head. Whatever feels comfortable for you. We have one more move on this side before we roll onto your back. Last 10 seconds here. Stay stacked through those hips, lifted through that side waist. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding that clam, we kick it up, bend, knee tap. Rotating once again through that hip socket. Up, bend, knee tap. "20 seconds. We are on your back. Final 2 moves coming up. Give me 10. Just 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rotating onto your back. Lowering yourself all the way down. Feet are hip-width distance apart. Stretching out those hip flexors first. Lift and lower. Lift those hips. Squeeze those glutes. Squeeze through the backs of those thighs. It feels nice to work both legs at the same time, giving that right side a little bit of a rest. Whew. We have just 6. For 5, shoulders away from your ears. 4, 3, we hold it up in 2. On this next one, stay lifted. Left leg is going to the ceiling, all the way down, all the way up, driving out through that right foot. Again, you've got that option, bending that leg into tabletop if you need to. Otherwise, it's staying up to the ceiling. We just have pulses to finish, coming up in 20 seconds. Exhale to help you lift. Inhale to lower. Really press into those hands to assist you here at the same time. We stay lifted in 5, in 4, 3, 2, holding it up for me. Tiny little pulse lift, lift, lift. 20 seconds only. Really drive out, lift higher, higher. Press those arms into your mat. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that leg, come all the way down. Right ankle across that left knee. Hug it in for me. Oh my goodness. Oh. Bringing that heart rate down, focusing on your breath. And gently release. Taking those feet as wide as your mat, just windshield wiper those knees from side to side, getting a little stretch out through those quads. Opening up through those hips, through those hip flexors. Once again, finding those rotations of your femur in your hip sockets. Stretching a little bit through those obliques as well. When you are ready, gently hugging those knees into your chest, hold behind the backs of your thighs. Rock yourself up to a seated position. Team, as always, we finish off with my favorite neck stretches. Take those arms out to a T. One arm goes behind your waist. Clasp on with the other. Bring it around even further. Head tilts to where your hands are. Pulling your opposite shoulder down. And then change that angle of your head and neck as you need to. Breathe into it. Really expand that rib cage. And deflate it. Finding that glorious stretch that you need. Taking away any tension through your neck and your shoulders. We're here last 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing your head back up center, releasing those arms back to that T. Taking the other arm behind your waist. Clasping on, bring it around even further. Head tilts to where your hands are. Changing that angle of your head and neck as you need to. Finding that breath. Letting go of the tension in your neck, in your shoulders. Knowing that you have absolutely crushed your workout today. We're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing that head back up center, releasing those arms, rolling out those shoulders. My name is Alex Gold. It is always a delight to be here with you. Thank you so much, and I will see you again soon.